Ian must be loving all this humiliation to the point where he's probably online just searching up what people say, watching those videos. I don't think I've actually seen someone have this much of a downfall so quickly. Ian used to be this person where people respected him so much, and some of the clips I am going to show you today just proves that Ian and his wife are absolutely nasty, vile people. Before we jump into this, why not just hit that like button, hit subscribe, as I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and your help would be fantastic as I go through all these tweets and react. Anyway, some really interesting clips dropped from the H3H3 podcast. Coach Mike, who trained with Ian, and I'm guessing Kate is Mike's wife, but I wanted to talk about this. But let's start off with an easy one.
Yeah.
She's fine releasing everything, but she won't talk to him about it. I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah. And
like, I didn't
Hold
feel
on,
like
guys.
it was my
I got to
place.
sit on that for a sec. He stunk up the gym so bad you had to move him away from people.
yes.
Okay.
Bring-
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me just sit with that.
0.5 hotter, as if like he fucking his breath didn't stink all the time.
Yeah.
Another question. I heard that Anisa was talking shit about me and us even before Creator Clash 1.
Yeah, she had said, like, I forget what she said, like, but she had said that she didn't like associating with you guys for some reason, but then like you had been doing better or something, so they were happy to go on your show. It was it was vague, but because she would talk, she would kind of talk poorly about a lot of different people, so it was easy to just lose track of it. But yeah, she definitely had mentioned like something about you and Hila, and like, or maybe it was just you. But somebody had done something that had offended her at one point.
I'm
so
sure.
She thought, yeah, so she felt like you guys weren't like good people or something. But then once you could do their show, but she loved AB and Lena. She always loved them. Yeah.
She would. So here's
There
the
you
thing.
go. Who doesn't love AB and Lena? To be
Yeah.
fair.
Good question.
To be fair, right? Who doesn't love AB and Lena?
Yeah, she wanted to get her Lebanese credit, so that's why she like loved so much.
She's trying to get her Lebanese credit up.
Yeah. He would always, because she would be like, they're Muslim and I'm Muslim.
Yeah, it's.
And I was like, everything you do is haram. Like nothing you do is. I have Muslim fighters.
Yes.
They pray 5 times a day. They
don't touch women.
Like,
besides your wife.
They're a couple of them are from Dagestan, right? And in Dagestan, you're not allowed to shake a woman's hand. Like, but they put their hand on. They're very respectful, right?
So quite a lot to unpack right there. First of all, imagine walking into the gym and Ian's there, and he just smells like shit, and you have to move away. It's absolutely fucking horrible. Like you can tell he smells like it's that smell that gets at the back of your throat and stings for like ages. It could have been absolutely anything that Anisa didn't like and just goes after them like, oh, they didn't say hello or good morning, now I hate them. Talking a load of shit to everyone, absolutely the worst thing. And it just shows what sort of person she is. The fact is that she's saying that she's Muslim, yet she kind of denounced all of that. She said in a video that telling her father that she's no longer Muslim was the hardest thing in her entire life. And yet Ian ripped up a Quran, and also Anisa does OnlyFans and stuff like that. And I'm sure that's against the religion. So how can you actually say that? It's just really fucking weird.
Weird.
And afterwards, everybody's hanging out, and she walks up to Ian and she goes, "You're hungry."
Yes.
And then so they had to leave because Ian was hungry. So she tells Ian when he was hungry. We're like, what the hell?
Ian is never going to be getting over the allegations of being cucked all the time. Dear God. Standing there having a chat with your friends or something or training, and then Anisa comes up and goes, "You're hungry." How the fuck do you know that? Being told what to feel, what to do. Does this work in other ways? Honey, I don't want you talking to that person. Yes, dear. Honey, I do not want you to be anywhere near your family. Get rid of them all. Okay. It's so fucking messed. The guy needs to sit in that cooked chair. So yeah, that is literally it. We definitely know that Anisa is in control of Ian. She's pulling those strings. She's piloting him like a mech.
This next question is very salacious, so it's totally up to you. You can pretend like you don't even know what I'm talking about if you want. But what I've heard is that she was hitting on one of his sparring partners and was obsessed with him and gave him a VIP pass to the event.
A lot of his sparring partners got the passes, but she was she definitely had a big crush on one of the guys that would come in and spar with them, because anytime they would spar, she would just be super into it and watch every moment. And then even if he would like beat Ian up, she'd be very into it. And then
I want to say that I want to say that before. So Anisa never gave shout outs to Michael training Ian at all, but she put out the first video of Ian like getting rocked in sparring when Ian was sparring with her crush. Yeah.
It was our friend Gabe.
She shared it. And we have a clip too. You guys can share.
I would call him Gorgeous Gabe.
Definitely, Anisa does not like Ian whatsoever. You would think that if you were truly in love, truly his wife, you would want to show every single training thing or the best ones. But the one that she fancies the most, she's giddy because she's imagining that night when obviously they're together, that Gabe is smacking him down and she's like, oh my God, this is hot. She generally absolutely hates Ian. If this is going on, if this is all true, she absolutely hates him. Oh my fucking God. Most partners would generally show the training for most of what their partner's done. But the fact is that she focused on this one person. She fancies him, giving him allegedly these VIP passes so she could literally corner him. It's like one of those things of as soon as like Ian walks out the room, like the door closes, there is Anisa looking at gorgeous Gabe, biting her lip and then just pouncing on him. I reckon that would allegedly happen. Anisa just generally hates Ian.
Because you've already exposed her for being like the first person that Ian's ever been with, right?
Yes.
So in my opinion, what happened was she even told us, she used to always tell her mom, I'm going to be with a millionaire. And so we think that once she
used
kind
to
of got
tell her mom that she would be with a millionaire? How do you know
her
that?
mom told her that it had to be someone rich.
How did you know that?
Well, she told us.
She would tell us that.
It was, I remember exactly. It was when we were in Vegas going to the other podcast and we were inside the Uber and we were with Ian and Anisa. And Anisa said that like her mom only had two expectations for her to marry someone that was rich and also to be of her religion, right? And so she said that Anisa goes, well, I mean, I didn't get someone that was of my religion, but at least I got one part of it right. He's rich. And then she like laughed about it. And then he was in the car and you could tell he was bothered by it.
I was bothered.
Who wouldn't be bothered by that?
This is so awesome.
Yeah, this is on. It's like a fountain.
This is awesome.
Oh my God, like she is a gold digger. All she wants is his money and doesn't give a shit about him. Who in the right mind actually says that while their partner is there in front of them? Oh man, Ian's not going to get out of this because he's properly in love and she only wants his money. She doesn't give a shit about his looks. She's berated him. She said that he shits his pants on stream. She fucking hates him. And now she's admitted that she's just with Ian for his money. Oh my God. What the actual hell? If that was my partner and they just said they're there for my money, I would be like, and there's the door. I do not want you in my life. I want to have you to love and support me, not just want the next, like, whatever comes out of my wallet. Oh my fucking God, dig. It's fucking wow.
Actually believing it. But so for that second event, so I tell him he needs to do 2-a-days. This is like 2 weeks before the fight. I'm like, we need to do your 2-a-days. And I said, my brand is at stake. Well, he went and told Anisa that I told him my brand was at stake. So the next day she comes into the gym super mad and she's like, our brand is at stake. We're $500,000 in the hole right now.
I wish I knew that. I wish I knew that at that time. I think a lot of the fighters would have liked to have known that. I don't think none of them needed to be in the dark about that, you know?
Yes, completely. Well, and that's the thing. They said you guys didn't promote enough, but they weren't honest about the fact that they were spending the money from the ticket sales on the hotel, on flying people in, on all these other things. So it was just like,
so those decisions, the gala decisions, were made while in the red.
Yes.
I have a question about that.
So she was like, we're already down 500,000. And she still had time to cancel stuff when she said that? Like, how before the event was that?
Yeah. I mean, it was 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks before the event. I mean, they
so
knew
she
they
could have
were
made some last minute moves. Yeah.
They knew they were $500K in the hole long before that, right? That's just when they yelled at us about it.
Yeah.
So they could have definitely made moves to reduce spending.
She wanted that award show so bad the next day. They really, really wanted to have that award show so she could give out awards. Once again, you had heard, like Ian said, he didn't want to have the fight just end and have everybody go home the next day.
He said, I'll quote him because it's very rich. He says that the first time afterwards, he woke up and everybody was gone. And he found it super depressing because he didn't get a chance to process his trauma, which seems a little bit hyperbolic, frankly, if I'm being honest. I mean, it's like a self-inflicted charity event. I wouldn't call that exactly I wouldn't put that up with like maybe like fighting in a war. I don't know. But right. But I guess we all define trauma differently. But so he goes, so in that case, I wanted to throw a party afterwards where we could all talk to each other and process our trauma. And then he says, we lost money, but I don't regret throwing the after party.
Mike is completely right. As he is a fighting coach, he wants the best. He wants people to come to him so he can continue his business. Anisa and Ian can go back to doing their shitty little podcast. Ian can make videos upon videos and earn money, and nothing happens to them. But this impacts Mike so much, and yet Anisa has the gall to walk straight in and say it's their brand that's on the line too. But then also knowing you're 500k in the negative as well, dear fucking God, why would you would be cutting back. Also, the whole thing with the after party, I guarantee you that none of them would be talking about their trauma or that. They'd be drinking, celebrating that they made money for charity, and you're in the negative. If you wanted to process your trauma so bad, you would have had people sit down in a ring to talk about your feelings. All they want is a party. It's mainly Anisa so that everyone can go, well done, Anisa. You've done really, really well. Thank you for that award. Like, makes no sense. No wonder this all fucking failed. What a cockwomble.
To dress nicely for the gala, that there would be pictures and such.
We found out it was a red carpet event that they flew Getty Images in for. So they straight up flew Getty Images to take pictures for the event. But
they're the only. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, when we asked them about it, and I said, hey, is there a gala? And they said, oh, you guys, don't even worry about it. You don't have to go to that. And I said, what? This is what Anisa said. And I said, what? And I said, well, some of the sparring partners got invited. And she said, I don't know how they got on that list. They weren't supposed to be on the list. And in my mind, I'm like, Ian had invited them. He sent them the email personally.
What a disgusting human being she seems to be. I'm sorry.
Oh, she didn't want any of us there. She only wanted like creators there or people that would, I guess, make her feel like she could get more clout. So she told us we didn't have to come to the event. She doesn't know why we would want to be at the event. And I said, what's the event for? Yeah. And she said, and it's an award show. And I said, what are the awards for? And she said, they're awards for the boxing. And I said, why wouldn't his coach want to be there? Why wouldn't his team want to be there? I was like, that makes no sense. So everybody else, all the other coaches I talked to, I said, hey, did you guys know about the gala? They said, yeah. I said, did you bring a suit for it? And all of them had freaking like 3-piece suits with like kerchiefs and everything. I had sweatpants. I'm like, what?
Dude, that's so messed up. Why? It's like you're the guy connected with the event organizers and they're explicitly excluding you guys.
I know why. I honestly believe that the reason why Ian and Anisa excluded us and did not want us to know about the gala is because we're both very professional, we're both very direct and very transparent. If they told us that they were going to throw a huge gala after the fight and it was going to cost a ton of money, we would have asked them, why are you doing this?
Yeah,
because Anisa already told us, she shared with us prior to CC2, like a month before, that they were negative, was it 500K already?
Yeah, at the time.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah, that's
say that again.
They were negative 500K before the event.
Yes.
Before, so going up to the event with the ticket sales and the PPV sales, when the event started, they knew they were down $500,000.
Yes.
Keep in mind that they moved to a bigger venue and they sold a lot of tickets. But before the event had started, they said we're fine. So the reason we found this out was because I wanted Ian to start doing 2 training sessions a day. And I said, Ian, you need to start doing 2-a-days. And he was like, why should I do 2-a-days? And I told him, I was like, Ian, you're not good at boxing, man. My brand is at stake. So you need to do 2-a-days. That's what pro boxers do. And so I
Wait,
told
did you
him,
actually say that to him?
yeah, yes. And then I told him, I said, my brand is on the line. I said, you can go back to YouTube. My whole life is fighting and coaching fighters. And I'm like, so if you don't have a good performance, that's going to look bad on me. After the first event, he didn't. So for the first event, he didn't do any of his cardio. So that's why I ended up gassing out so bad.
Generally shows that Ian did not take this seriously. He doesn't care. He never has cared whatsoever. You know, you had certain training that you needed to do to keep up to show how good you were, and you couldn't be bothered. Just shows how half-assed he is. He is a complete and utter cockwomble. All this was just a huge party for Anisa. That's all she wanted. Like, when you listen to all these clips individually and stuff like that, you know that Anisa didn't give a shit about charity or the boxing event. She is that one person that just wanted all the attention on herself, and that was it. Why would you just spend so much money on getting Getty images to take those photos? That's it. She just wanted a big event for herself. Absolutely fucking horrible. But also not inviting your trainer, your coach, and yet everyone else did. It shows that they didn't want them there whatsoever. And you can't really say, well, maybe they didn't have enough space. They fucking did. They just didn't want them there. I guarantee that they thought they would go back, go to sleep, and then wake up while this party was going on and be like, oh shit, yeah, we were meant to invite you. We did, but we completely forgot. Nah, fuck off. They just didn't want them there. They hate them. They generally do. Fucking disgusting, Ian and Anisa. Fucking disgusting.
First year that, like, because she would always talk about a certain group of people. It was like somebody named Pokimane and all these other people. And she would always talk about how she wants, like, them to be there and she wants to be a part of their group. So a lot of it, and then so that's why, like, and then the first year was like during that girl's birthday party. So
no, sorry. Knowing that detail, it breaks my heart that she had to settle for denims.
Yeah. I don't even know these people, but yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, the only people I really know in the YouTube world is you guys, because you guys were so nice to us. Like, we got more clout from being on your show than we ever did from working with Ian, because he would never show any of the work we did. He would never. Yeah. And then everybody else, it drove me crazy. Like, AB would shout out his coach, Wale, Lucky Boy, yeah, and then
AB was all about it, man.
Anisa just wants all these influencers to gain connections. That's all it is. Pokimane, even though I'm not a really big fan of her, she has her kind of established connections to a lot of people. So Anisa wanted that. She couldn't make it as a streamer or anything like that. So why not become friends with Pokimane and her friends so that they can go on trips, be on streams, that Pokimane could shout out Anisa all the time. Oh my fucking god, just this is so fucked up. But also Ian, the little clout goblin, eating all that clout because he didn't want to share it. It's like that scene in Family Guy where John Goodman eats all the food. That's literally what I see Ian. You think you would shout out people that would promote you? I guarantee if Mike had more people on his side, I guarantee you Ian would be just like gobbling him down saying, oh, Mike did this, Mike did that. Oh my god, just like literally the lack of promotion shows you exactly who the fuck Ian is. They don't give a shit about the charity. They don't give a shit about other people. They just want the big people there so that they can get in there and be like, hey, can we be friends? What a fucking dickhead.
Details that you guys shared with me. For example, one being that I think it was you, Kate, that mentioned that he and Anisa did in fact pay for Hassan and all of his compadres to travel to and stay at Creator Clash 2.
Yes.
Yeah, so they were talking about that long before, about how they had to fly in all these people. First of all, they rented the hotel for over 300 creators and flew a lot of them in. When the first year it was much more scaled back. We just had a couple floors of like some place, like a nice suite place, but it wasn't extravagant at all. And then the second year they did that full hotel for 300 creators. They flew a lot of people in. One of the people they flew in was Froggy Tonic, and they flew him in from France.
That's insane.
And Froggy had told us that he was there to salvage the documentary.
Yeah.
And that was super offensive to us because we're like, what do you mean salvage the documentary? And he said his job was to go around and like film Anisa having interactions with everyone. So we didn't know if that meant they were going to make the second documentary about how, or the actual documentary about how like Anisa was responsible for the event, because she did put a lot of work in for the first event and she did put a lot of work in for the second. But at the same time, in the first event, she didn't get credit for it. So she felt like she deserved all the credit. So I think that's why they paid Froggy Tonic to come film her and follow her around for the second event. But yeah, they flew in a lot of people. They rented out the whole hotel for 300 creators. And when we asked them if Ian's dad was going to be there, because he was there for the first event, they said they couldn't afford to fly Ian's dad in. It was too expensive.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty sad. And Froggy Tonic told me directly, because I met him at the hotel, right, where we were all staying at in Tampa for CC2. And he was like, "Oh, you're the videographer that has all the content of Ian sparring." And I said, "Yes, I'm super excited. I've been waiting for this documentary, but it never came out. So I heard that you're taking it over now and you're going to help with the editing." And that's when Froggy Tonic told me that, yeah, Ian and Anisa brought out his whole crew from France.
His whole crew?
I think it was just him.
Well, he had a few people that were holding the cameras, his camera guys. Because the interesting thing was that usually when like someone is a videographer, they would be the one filming most of the time. But it was interesting to me that
he was just directing.
Yeah, he was more directing.
This fucking guy thinks he's Spielberg?
Scorsese.
What the hell's going on?
Oh my God, imagine telling your father, "Oh, sorry, Dad, you can't come to this event right now. We've got no space. We can't pay for you. It's too expensive." And yet you've flown out 300 plus content creators that probably have nothing to do with what you want to promote. You just wanted this huge party. You just wanted something like TwitchCon or like a big YouTube event or whatever. You didn't give a shit about charity. Like it definitely shows right now. But the fact is that you flew Hassan as well as Froggy Tonic just to film and do stuff. The amount of money being spent on plane tickets, the hotel itself must have cost more than the charity itself. If you had like reduced all of that to actually properly wanting like a few select people and your dad, I guarantee you would have made more money to give to charity. And yet now we're just finding all of this out. Ian is absolutely fucking cooked. There is no way you can get around this. Holy fucking shit. What an absolute cunt Ian and Anisa are. At this point in the video, if you've made it, thank you very much for being here. This is the one clip that made me go, what the actual fuck? It shows you how much of a super cunt both Anisa and Ian are for this. Absolutely fucking vile.
I'm a child bride survivor, and at the age of 12, I was put into a child marriage from the time I was 12 until 23. Within my child marriage, I had 2 kids when I was 15 and 17. And this happened in America, okay? And Ian and Anisa are well aware of my story because I've had them at my home. They've seen my kids and everything. And so last year, right, 2024, I learned that there was a House bill in Washington State trying to pass House Bill 1455 to end child marriage. And so when I learned of this bill, I thought to myself, even though it had been 15 years since I escaped my prison, like this is a chance for me to come forward and tell my story. I sent, so Michael and I went to Olympia in Washington. We met with politicians. We lobbied to support the bill. I gave my public testimony to support the bill. And, I was on Seattle Times and television and everything. And I reached out to Ian and Anisa and I asked them if they could help, share the information because it was really important to me that this bill passed. And they just both left me on red. But guess what? Today, when they saw the highlights on Ian's story that we were going to be on here, Anisa was texting me and Michael, and they were like,
they ignored us when we were like trying to fight child marriage. But then when they found out,
are they pro child marriage?
Yeah,
take a hard
That's why it makes one. Begs the question. Yeah. Wait, so how? And if you're uncomfortable talking about this, refrain. But it sounds. How did you get married at 12?
So basically, in Washington State, there's no law to prevent parents from marrying their children. So as long as there's a parental consent, then the judge on it and it happens, it could just marry a child at the age of 2.
What?
Absolutely horrible what Kate went through. Absolutely horrible. Telling Ian and Anisa this and then they just get left on red, shows you exactly what sort of person or people that they are. The fact is that Ian and Anisa got super scared because these guys ended up on a highlights reel that Ethan put out, and instantly they go straight to text messaging. Can you imagine, like, you don't respond for a while and then it's like, hey buddy, you're being interviewed, can you help us out? Can you contact us? Shows you exactly what they are. They don't care about anyone else. You know, this bill is very important, and you think a simple, hey, could you like share this out? Can you support it? You'd be like, hell yeah, no problem. Yeah, 100%. We will do this because this is tragic. And yet they just like do absolutely nothing. I don't think I have seen people who are more fucking scummy in my entire life. And Ian and Anisa are just literally fucking horrible people. It definitely shows you what characters that they are, and they are very fucking horrible. And this is what the message was. I didn't know what the context was before, but this is what Ian sent to Michael. Hey Michael, not sure if this is clickbait or not, but saw your face on the H3 podcast thumbnail. Let me know if it's real, and if you want to talk. I'm hoping it's just some clickbait, because I'm happy to talk to you if you had unresolved feelings about Anisa. Holy fucking shit. You know that they're like, oh shit, more stuff is going to come out, and it fucking has. I generally think that Ian and Anisa are evil people, to be honest. She's a gold digger who doesn't give a shit about her husband. She just wants all that money, and I guarantee if Ian had no money whatsoever, she would leave him in a heartbeat for Hassan or gorgeous Gabe, as we've now found out. Leaving Kate and Mike on red on something that is so important and then just ghosting them shows that they just don't give a shit. Why all of a sudden would you then jump straight back in when you see this, hey Michael, not too sure, blah, blah, blah. You instantly go, shit, they have stuff on us that could destroy us, and it fucking has. Oh man, I'm so fucking angry about this. They're nasty, vile creatures. Fucking get in the bin. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Let me know down below in the comments and let's discuss. And while you're down there, why not hit the like button and subscribe, as I'm trying to reach 1,000 subs by the end of the year. So like and subscribe if you think Anisa and Ian are horrible people, or just like and subscribe if you like the content. Anyway, I'll leave it here.